Hello, friends, and welcome to the most glorious of events, the Movie Mavericks podcast. This outstanding program is hosted by two fine gentlemen, Jason and Trevor. Now make it so.
MovieMavericks.com.
Hey now everybody, welcome to a special episode of the Movie Mavericks podcast. I'm Trevor Anderson, sitting over to Jason Rugard. He's the master of something.
I am the Dream Master.
Oh.
That's what it was, right? Or the Dream Warrior. Wait, which one is this? This is the Dream
the
Master.
Master.
This is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Dream Warriors was...
Part 3?
A better movie. Yeah, it was number 3.
This is Part 4, The Dream Master. This is the glossiest of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels. The one that was directed by Renny Harlin and the biggest hit financially.
Made the most money, too.
Yeah, the biggest, the box office of the originals until the Freddy vs. Jason, which I guess is canon, but it isn't really canon. So this is of the original 6 that came out, I think it was.
Yeah.
Do you count the Wes Craven New Nightmare as part of this original?
Yes.
Okay, I do too. But some people...
No, it is. They're wrong.
Because Englund's in it, Heather Langenkamp, there's the original cast is in it, right? That's why you're counting it, is that?
Yeah, and it's Wes Craven, and it's watch that and watch the other ones. It fits right in, right? It is part of it.
I also think because
like if you watch like Freddy vs. If you watch anything past that, it has a different look to it.
It definitely has a different feel too. But Wes Craven's New Nightmare came out in '94, which was just 3 years after Freddy's Dead, which felt in line with that. And then Freddy vs. Jason came out 9 years after that.
Yeah,
so there was such a
this
big
movie
gap.
we're talking about here is only '88, right? Like it's for sure 100% a part of the original films.
And this part 4 came out in August of 1988, just 1 year after part 3 came out, and 1 year before part 5 would come out. So this is when they were just sausage factoring these films, and we're on a roll.
Oh yeah, this is Marvel, right? I mean, the story of this production of this movie is Marvel, right? This is Marvel Studios, right? Basically,
in that they were already shooting some things.
Get a script, already shooting without a director. Hired Renny Harlin, right? Who's basically hired him because he's a no-name, right? So he's a gun for hire, going to do what as they tell him. They already came up with a script. Wes Craven tried to tell them we should do this, and they said, "No, we're going to do this instead." It's literally like a Marvel movie made today.
And it's startling when you look at your average scene. If you pause any average scene in this movie and pause any average scene in part 3, the difference in the visual style. I mean, they really pumped up the visual aspect in terms of production design, the flare. I mean, there's a lot of flat lighting in part 3 and kind of a dull visual look to it.
I agree with you, but don't you think that the building of the special effects scenes and things in part 3 is better than this?
This is my favorite one of the whole series. So I love this movie, but I'm very sentimental to this because this was the first Freddy movie I saw in a theater, and I fell in love with this movie. This might have been the first Freddy movie I saw, and then saw the other ones retroactively. I can't recall that because I was only 9 when I saw this, but I thought this was the height of
I don't know
horror
that either.
films at this point.
Well, I mean, it technically would have been. For studio horror films, yeah, it would be, right? I mean, there's no argument to that. But I don't think that this is clearly a work that exists just to make money, right? Like, I just don't see anything.
It's another installment.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all downhill after this one until you get to New Nightmare. But I thought 3 was such a better... Watching them here, new, right? Not looking back, but just having seen 3 not too long ago and now watching this, just 3 felt more like a story that should have been told. This feels like something, I don't know, that exists just to, here's number 4, which is fine and fun, but it's not as good of a movie. I would say.
What's interesting is that I agree with what you're saying about the story, but I had the reverse reaction where we watched part 3 last year, and it wasn't as good as I remembered it to be, whereas I really enjoyed this one still a whole hell of a lot. It's funner, but story-wise, you're right. The story is stronger in part 3. If you stopped at part 3, it's a complete trilogy. You don't need 4, 5, and 6. I think New Nightmare is fairly brilliant, and it could fit in with that original 3 if you want to, but for the back half of this series, this is a gem. It really is. I think in terms of what they were trying to do, they hit the pop culture zenith with the box office, with the MTV aspect and all the tie-ins there. It was everywhere, and it does
what
big.
It's supposed to do.
It feels big, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To me.
And it is a Nightmare on Elm Street, right? There's no denying that when you watch this, that's what it is. The special effects are there. The kills are there. I felt like the junkyard was boring. There's some stuff in this that I feel like,
Well, I thought the matte painting,
I don't know that you were
when
trying.
they pull out of the junkyard, is very intriguing when he's in the nightmare world.
Sure, there's that. I like the waterbed's kind of interesting, but overall, I don't know. I think some of the stuff in this just felt a little flatter to me and maybe because I just didn't care. The weirdest thing to me about this storyline is the characters, right? And first of all, I guess the recasting,
right,
it's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, with Patricia Arquette leaving, and I think that she's sorely missed in this. She's definitely a better choice than Tuesday.
But is that a reason that they switch it up? Like this movie has such a weird second act. It's just a weird movie. Like you have two sets of characters really fighting Freddy, right?
Yeah.
And it's such an odd like switch up to me.
Yeah,
because I'm so
Alice and Lisa?
ready for the continuation of because you get this continuation of the third movie that ends abruptly to push into this fourth movie, but you're already in the fourth movie. It's just weird to me.
And this character now of Lisa becomes she's going to be the next. Or is Alice the one? I'm forgetting now.
Alice
is now going to take over for 5 and 6.
Is the new one from Kristen, right? Is the girl.
Thank you.
And Kristen gives Alice her gift, right?
It gets very convoluted.
And then
there.
Alice can do things just like her. So it's almost like, well, why did we kill Kristen? I don't understand. Like the story's weird, you know?
Well, you're
as far as the characters go, it's odd.
Over the fact that Freddy is reincarnated through dog piss.
Yeah, I know, but that's pretty funny. That's pretty. I like some of the stuff like that.
Somebody was paid to write that, my man. I mean, somebody was literally paid good money to write that. But
it is in some sense kind of fun, right? That's like a fun little touch because there's a lot of this movie is kind of like I don't want to say tongue in cheek, but it is kind of like, and I guess some of the Freddy in general is kind of always a little bit been like that, but this one especially is just like
it's lighter.
Doesn't give a shit, yeah.
There's some really dark things in part 3 with the nun being raped by the 1,000 maniacs and things like that.
But everything that Freddy does is an exaggeration, right, in the dream world. So everything's kind of comical in that sense, much like Art the Clown, right? Or if you want to talk about like some modern day thing, but it's all horrific, of course. But it is kind of like comical in a sense.
The fact that it's so polished is really, I think, what stuck out to me. Even that opening song, which is a great, that nightmare song that's sung by Tuesday Night over the opening credits is fantastic. And it's been called the MTV movie, but this really is the one that I felt had the most tie-in because I think Freddy hosted Headbangers Ball leading up to this and all sorts of appearances at Spring Break. They really were trying to do the tie-in and market it to that generation. Makes sense. A lot of the trailers, the TV spots on YouTube have kids exiting, teenagers exiting and saying all sorts of glorious things about the movie. Remember when they used to do that in movie ads?
I missed that,
yeah. It's fun. But looking back on it, this is my favorite Freddy movie. And 1988 also has my favorite Halloween movie in Halloween 4. And just looking at some of the movies, let me give you a couple movies of horror movies that were released in 1988. And you tell me if this might not be the greatest year for horror movies, commercial horror movies, okay? So we have Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Halloween 4. We have Child's Play, Pumpkinhead, Serpent and the Rainbow, Friday the 13th, New Blood, Fright Night 2, Hellbound Hellraiser 2, Phantasm 2, They Live. I mean, those are just the big ones. And then on the B-movie side, you have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Maniac Cop, Watchers, Waxwork. I mean, those are some pretty heavy hitters. That might be the best year of the 80s.
Those are, well, not all those are great movies in my mind, but I'd say about 80, 85, 90% of what you just said are fucking awesome movies.
Pretty fucking iconic.
Some of those are the
right?
best, in my opinion. Some of those are the best in their franchises as well. So
some of those are the best from the filmmakers that made them. So I look at that like it. I mean, you make an argument that They Live is the best John Carpenter movie in a lot of ways, but I love Big Trouble so much, and some of the other ones. I'd fight
There's
you
so
on that.
many.
But,
yeah, I wouldn't. It's always hard to make a choice when you have such a great lineup of things.
But I prefer Halloween 4 as the best in that franchise as well. I don't know if I was just at the perfect age when these movies came out. Child's Play, being 9.
Probably. I mean, that's the best Child's Play movie, definitely. I don't know. Child's Plays I find them boring now.
But Pumpkinhead was startling to me as a kid when I saw that in a
theater. Have you watched it recently?
I tried to, and it was just as fucking horrifying, I thought.
I thought it was boring.
Really? I thought it was just as impactful, especially with... I forgot about the kid getting killed. I don't know why I blocked that out, but that was the whole crux of the story.
Yep.
And I also watched Serpent and the Rainbow recently, and that still held its sway.
I haven't seen that lately.
Give it a shot.
That could be good.
Fright Night series,
I've seen the Phantasms lately. Phantasm 2 is my favorite. I love that one. It's the best one. And then what else? He said another second.
I'll say Killer Clowns, Maniac Cop, Watchers.
Maniac Cop's awesome.
Waxwork.
Waxwork's great.
Hellbound Hellraiser 2.
Oh, that's the best Hellraiser.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's be honest.
Fright Night 2 is better than the first one. I think that's also big.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely I'll concur with you. It's a solid year.
Huge. So obviously horror was massive in the 1980s for whatever reason you want to get into, but that I think 1988 was the year they finally got everything down in terms of the visuals and the special effects, and the guy working behind the scenes also on the visual effects on this movie, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, was Screaming Mad George. Did you see that in any of your research there? I saw a making of online, and he was the guy who would go on to do the Guyver and things like that, and be responsible. I think Spawn, he had something to do with that as well, some of the practical effects there. So this was a guy who was very well known for doing just disgusting. He did the roach bit and the girl's arms breaking on the bench press. Things that just horrified me when I was a fucking kid watching this movie. He specialized in, so I got to give him a shout out. Freddy
has some good kills, I definitely think he's the funnest as far as like being able to be experimental and kind of out there with the kills.
He could also make references in pop culture, and it was almost...
Well, he's in their heads. He's in
the crypt
teenagers and kids' heads.
There you go. That's probably
why. Yeah, so he would do that, right?
Yeah, because they would have their set of references, right? Because he's using their...
He's in their dreams and stuff, so he would know all of their stuff. I mean, that's why I think he's a superior, like, bad guy, not just in the case of, like, his powers and things, but he's just more interesting of a character than almost any of the other slashers, who are just, slow-moving slashers. Even though there can be good commentary in those movies, even with slow-moving slashers, this is just more interesting.
Freddy seemed... I don't want to say lovable when I was a kid, but almost like you were rooting for him, like a Darth Vader.
Didn't they do that a lot, though? I mean, you mentioned Child's Play. Wasn't Chucky like that? And didn't Chucky, in fact, become like that when you got to Bride of Chucky? Basically, that was true. In this series, also, when you get to like Freddy versus Jason, it's basically true, right? That these are, and it's what they did with Art the Clown too, right? In the Terrifier stuff, it starts off kind of real and then immediately flips into everyone loves the bad guy, right? It's kind of weird.
It's the anti-hero thing. It's the creativeness of what he's doing. It's the winking at the audience. Almost there's like a fourth wall break.
You don't want him to win, but you also don't want him to die completely, right?
Yes, exactly right. You want to know that he is put away safe, but he's still out there somewhere lurking. It's kind of the fun of it. And when I was a kid, that garage scene karate workout I thought was the coolest fucking thing in the world. I thought that guy was the coolest guy when I was 9 and saw this movie. Looking back on it now, he has no muscle mass and his kicks are for shit. But it was fun to revisit this, and the Dramarama song, Anything, one of my favorite 80s songs it fits perfectly in that montage. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking Renny Harlin might have been the best fit for this, because he launched his career off of this, and Wes Craven is more of a dark artist, if you will, kind of a Clive Barker in a sense, whereas Renny Harlin is totally commercially driven, totally commercially minded.
I mean, maybe. I disagree. I think Wes Craven is both. I mean, I agree with you. Wes Craven kind of straddles that line, though, to me, especially if you look at some of his other films. But I think you're right about the Freddy Krueger stuff. But by the time you get to New Nightmare, it's a little bit the opposite, right?
Oh, it's totally anti-commercial. That was a huge swing and a miss, but brilliant movie, I think, in the end.
Yeah, but that's how you get things like Scream and stuff. I think that I don't, just because something doesn't do well doesn't make it not commercial, right?
I just thought because New Nightmare, you had to really be following it. You had to be absolutely familiar with the mythology of the series, and that if you came into that movie cold, you were not going to, it wasn't inviting to you.
But that's what they did. To a degree, though, that's what they changed. I mean, that's what the scary movies made fun of, right?
Well, Scream brilliantly, invited everybody in a way.
As almost made fun of it too, but that's what horror movies changed into, was that, right? You might say he was ahead of his time, I guess, with that, but I just don't think it was anti-commercial. It just didn't hit. But certainly other movies like that did super well.
I also think the problem, if you want to talk about the box office of New Nightmare, not to get too off on a tangent,
sure.
That comes out in, what was it, late 94, October-ish of 94. That's only 3 years removed from the massive marketing of Part 6, Freddy's Dead, that this is the final. Freddy's not coming back. Come see this movie. And that's an okay movie, but that got a bump at the box office because we thought it was the final and it had a little 3D conclusion. And now a couple years later, you're saying, nope, that wasn't the end. And I think people felt burnt by that.
Well, and it's a little bit of a weirder... It's like an indie kind of a feeling as far as New Nightmare.
It is.
Goes, I guess. So maybe, I don't think it's anti-commercial, but you're right. It is a little bit of a smaller... It's a twist.
It's an art house
kind of a
version.
Weird twist. Maybe people weren't ready for.
It took it back to a
but
smaller
obviously
level.
It can be very commercial if you look at what that turned into. But getting back to this, and you're talking Renny Harlin. Yeah, and Renny Harlin today, still running off this movie, is... a gun for hire, right? And has brought in later on to fix other movies that the studios were worried about.
Talk about The Exorcist, right?
That movie specifically, yeah. So he, basically, and I think for some reason why they hired him for Die Hard 2 as well, is because basically you just need a studio guy who's going to do what the studio says and make a big, shiny movie. It's going to be Renny Harlin, right?
Well, he also just got done, let's not forget, doing 3 movies in the horror genre that just came out recently called The Strangers, the redo on that. All 3 of those were directed by Renny Harlin, this new incarnation of that. And he's got, in the coming weeks, a disaster movie coming out, another shark movie. I think it's called Deep Waters with, what's his name, Aaron Eckhart. So.
Does this get him a bit, right, and because he did Deep Blue Sea and stuff. So, but does this give him like a bad name? Is he like the Michael Bay of horror?
What, because of this movie or because of...
Because of what? Because he's so studio, right?
Well, I mean, this movie gets him Adventures of Ford Fairlane, which gets him Die Hard 2, which gets him, into the stratosphere there until he tanks out with Cutthroat Island, which, you say what you want on it, but that's not a bad movie. It's not poorly made by any means. He's got some bad movies in his canon, but that's not one of them. He's made some bad.
I mean, I'm still not a fan of Die Hard 2 at this point, but I really don't think he's a super strong director. But if given the right material, I think he makes. And if you want to talk about like the Exorcist stuff, yeah, his version was better.
It was better.
It was.
It was more commercial.
It just was.
There you go.
It just made more sense.
It actually moved. Watch the Schrader one. It doesn't go anywhere. It just meanders.
It just made sense, right? That's all that movie had to do to be better than the other one. So I think that, if you get him the right material and stuff, he'll definitely always deliver.
Yeah, the guy is like you said, a gun for hire. He is not a visionary, but he can give you something that's glossy and will play. And he can tell a story on film, which, a lot of these younger guys that we've seen, we were talking off air about a couple of filmmakers, can't do. So I'll give him that. I mean, he can tell he can get the script on the screen at a budget. So he's got some fucking stinkers. What was that one? Was it Devil's Pass or something like that? There was one that was like a cannibal movie in the snow. It was real low budget. He did not the best. But before he did this movie, he'd only done 2 movies. He'd done that Born American movie, which I've seen, which is terrible, and Prison, which isn't bad. You ever seen that one?
Yeah.
With Viggo Mortensen, it's actually not terrible. So I think it's got a bit of a cult classic status now, but I don't think it's that good.
It does actually,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, he was hired because of that, right? Because they didn't think he would fight.
Like you
them
said,
on it.
the Marvel mindset was in tow here.
Yeah.
The theme that runs here, as I'm watching this, and there's that sequence where Alice slams her dad's plate down because he's verbally abusive. I don't know do they allude that he's sexually abusive in here too? I can't tell if he's just an asshole, if he's just an overworked asshole single father, or if there was like I can't recall if he made like an advance toward her or some weird shit here, but I know she gets really pissed at him
I don't know.
in her fantasies. But this continues the theme in all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies where the parents cannot be trusted, right? Like it's very 80s. Every adult has like ulterior motive, and ultimately these adults have created the crisis that the kids are in, right? They're left for the repercussions of the actions of this previous generation who burnt Fred Krueger alive, and now he's out to haunt their children. But I thought in part 3 these were the last remaining kids on Elm Street. So the jump to these, after you kill off the last remaining kids, now what are we doing here? Which is why I think they have to go into the baby reincarnation in part 5, the dream child. Isn't that why they do that?
I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, in this one they had the same issue, and they effectively he makes them pull other people into the dreams, right? And that's how he's able to
transfer,
I guess, branch out. Yeah.
He gets a little spotty.
I don't know.
there.
That is questionable. Yeah,
But
I have to watch. I haven't seen the other two. Those are probably. I mean, 5 and 6 are probably the least watched of all of them for me.
Me too, and they blend together.
So I would have to rewatch those, which I'm looking to do here. So I think we should do those at some point too.
I think so too, because like I said, 5 and 6 blend together for me. I know the ending of 6 very well because I had that laser disc with the 3D glasses you could put on and kind of watch 3D. But at the same time, and I saw that in the theater where they gave us 3D glasses to see it in. But I thought as I'm watching it, and it's like, oh, the parents. The kids now are saddled with all of the burden that the older generation had done. And I'm thinking, this is kind of 80s. I don't know if I was reading into it too much, but a lot of that 80s anti-nuclear shit, anti-government. Remember all those
Yeah, for sure.
I thought a lot of that was like kind of seeping into this, subconsciously or as a subtext. So it was very bold to do that because all these movies, the parents are trying to drug the kids to go to sleep. They never listen to them. It's like, yeah. Like they cannot be trusted on any level. No adult in these movies are good unless it's a psychiatrist or something like that. But the parents are all.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of. But yeah, I mean, I agree. That's the setup to this is that as a kid you're alone. Your parents don't believe you. The boogeyman's trying to get you.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Right? It's every kid's.
It's a pretty base fear kind of a thing, but it does spin out to, as you say, it goes beyond that, right? To government stuff and all that kind of crap too. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Robert Englund in any other movie?
Yeah.
A non-Friday the 13th movie?
Yeah.
A non-horror film?
Oh, let me think. I mean, I'm sure I have. I actually have to think about what he's been in.
And I know we talked about The Mangler recently. We both watched that. And the 976 Evil films, but
I mean, I know that I have. I'm almost certain, but I don't know. It's not like I'm watching Robert Englund movies.
Yeah, not hunting them down.
Or thinking about him, yeah.
God, he was in a movie.
He's not in a lot, or he's not in very good stuff.
Only other movie I've ever seen him in that wasn't a horror film, like Phantom of the Opera or something like that, was a movie with Jan Michael Vincent, and I cannot recall the name. I think it was called Billy and Bobby. Billy and Billy? Something like that.
Let's see. I'm looking right now. I'm going to find something. God, there's something, right?
Tell me what the name of that Jan Michael Vincent movie is, please. It's from the late 70s, early 80s. Billy and Jean? God, people, if anyone's listening to this, they're going to be screaming at me if they know what it is. Am I making this up? Was he not in that movie?
I don't know. I'm not back that far yet. I'm trying to find something.
He's done a lot of fucking movies.
He has, but most of them are horror.
That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like he's been. I mean, I've seen him in TV stuff, but I'm not going to count that. He's been in some stuff.
I'll give you something that I know you've seen.
What the hell?
And I'm going to give you, and it's right in your face, but I don't want to give you the obvious. Because I don't know if this counts, because it's not like he's a big role in it, but I'll give it to you. You ready? It's another Renny Harlin film.
What is it?
The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Oh.
Remember, he's the hitman?
I've not seen that movie in so long.
He was the hitman that shows up going after Dice Clay the whole movie. And that has to be because he was coming off of this, right?
I mean, I would, sure. Probably. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah, they knew each other. Well,
Yeah, it's hard to... That's why I asked you this question, because when I was looking at the filmography, I thought, I don't know if I've seen him in much other than this. Which would be the general consensus.
It's all horror stuff. I haven't seen that. I mean, he's obviously a lot of older stuff. I'm not going to remember.
And he's a good actor. This is like
almost all of it's horror, or horror adjacent enough to where you're just like, yeah, it's just horror.
The movie is called Buster and Billy. Thank you. It's from 1974. That's the one I had seen.
I didn't even get that far.
And I forgot he was in Big Wednesday, but that's a very small role. And he, I'm not going to count V because that's TV.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Anything that would be, and I haven't seen a lot of this. I mean, Stay Hungry. I'm not, I mean, Oh, A Star Is Born? Uncredited, huh?
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You're right. I feel like I've seen him in more things. I guess I've seen him in a lot of TV.
Ton of TV appearances.
That's where I've seen him. And in a lot of movies that are horror. Yeah, he's in a lot of horror, I guess.
I mean, I guess you get pigeonholed.
Get it.
And
get it.
Yeah, he's working, right? I mean,
I'd take it, yeah.
I'm sure
Lake Placid 22, fucking do it.
He
Sign me up.
Go to just conventions for the rest of his life and live off that if he wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know what else are you gonna do?
Well, this movie opened up in the #1 spot with $12.8 million back in August of 1988, and totaled out at $49 million, which is equal to about $135 million today. And putting that into perspective, that's more than the last Scream made, which was a big hit. That's bigger than the last Final Destination, where they made a big to-do about, or Weapons. So this was a big fucking hit, just a massive hit for this, and they made it on a $6.5 million budget. So you equal that out. That's not $30 million today. It's nothing. So no wonder they made Part 5 immediately. They threw it into production probably after opening weekend here, and this thing stayed in the top spot for 3 weeks. And in the top 10 for 7 weeks. So this wasn't a flash in the pan. This just really had legs on it for whatever reason. And none of the subsequent sequels would match it there. They were more quick opening weekends and then fall off 50% or more each week thereafter, where this really maintained its audience pull. So I really don't know what that was. Was it just good timing, you think? What was it?
Well, I haven't seen... I feel like I need to watch the other two again to say, but I don't think the other two are very good.
Well, they're definitely a step down, even though Stephen Hopkins takes over the directing of Part 5.
I know, but they are. They're just not... and as much as I've sat here and shat on this one a little bit, this is a fun movie to watch. Yeah. It's undeniably fun to watch.
It's quick moving. There's no dead spot. Well, the second... it's like you said, the second act gets a little wonky, but it does not...
There's weird stuff in it. Like, the time loop is weird. There's all kinds of weird things that happen in it that are, but they're weird. Like, that's the only thing the only bad thing I say about it is that you watch it and you think, God, this is weird. Like, where is this going? I do wonder sometimes in this movie.
Yeah, like who's in control of the ship here on any level?
Yeah, what's ultimately what's going to happen here? Where are we trying to go? But it's still fun all the way around, and it's loud, in color and in sound and in music and in acting, and I guess surprising in what it does, because if you were to write this thing out or look at it as an outline or whatever, it's a meandering thing, but it doesn't play like that, right? It plays, as you say, it plays pretty quick.
High energy for sure, which is...
It is, yeah.
Have you ever seen any of the VHS promos that Englund did in character for the VHSs that are on YouTube?
No.
Oh man, those are fun. Check them out. If you know what I'm talking about,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They've done it for other movies before, and I do know. I mean, I have seen them, but I don't remember any of it.
He has a number.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think for 3 through 7 or 3 through 6, he definitely did them. And these are directly meant for video store owners to order more copies, and it's just a lot of information on how many units were sold from the other ones, what the return on investment were. And he's in character. Robert Patrick did something similar as the T-1000 with the Terminator 2.
Yeah,
that was
I was almost gonna literally say that as the example. I mean, they did it a lot. They did a lot of stunts to direct sales to video stores and people and through the VHS markets and stuff like that. So it's kind of a fun time. There's a lot of like weird time capsule things like that.
What's funny is they just had CinemaCon recently, and a lot of, wherever the studios are trying to sell their product to the theater owners. And in a version, this was kind of like a CinemaCon to the video store owners to try to get them to buy more units and to say how we're going to back it up with these ad campaigns.
I love I love when they have the screeners, specifically, the ones that are sent to sell the stuff, and it has all the not just the blurrage but the numbers on the back of it or whatever.
Exactly.
And it lines up a bunch of other movies, and it's like, we've trailered on these movies. Action is hot right now. Look at this. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it's like we're running ads during the final 4 and
it almost feels like, the Girl Scouts came to your door like, how many boxes can we put you down for?
Exactly. Oh, I know what I saw of Englund recently. What am I thinking? Stranger Things. Of course, he was in Stranger Things recently. But, God, I don't know why that just popped up in my head.
That's still like horror adjacent.
Exactly, it is horror adjacent. Thank you. I don't feel too bad on that. But yeah, on those screeners too, when they had the street dates, order by this time to get, they will back it up with in-store banners and signs. And
I love it. Yes, right. Free posters.
Exactly.
Every time you order, or sometimes they do buy 2 get 1 free.
Or
damn!
Don't forget to get the old packs. In fact, as I was on YouTube, they were selling all 4, a 4-pack for $19.95 each. So for all 4, $80 for the VHS tapes. What a scream and a steal. And you're thinking, God, extrapolate that out to what that would cost now. That's probably double that price. So you're looking at $160 for 4 VHS tapes. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well. Okay, don't look at 4K prices now.
I know.
Don't check Disney prices for Disney 4K movies.
There's been no drop in that market at all. Yeah, so I'm glad we actually went back and watched this because, it's the part 3 left a bad taste in my mouth in a sense because I really thought I loved that one, and then I rewatched it and thought, damn, I didn't here, but Dream Warriors, Dream Master, Dream Child, these all start to blur together to me. The ones that are really the standouts are, and not for a good reason, but Freddy's 2, because it's just so Freddy 2 is so weird, and of course the first one because it's so muted and slow now. You go back and watch that one. It's really dated.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as strong as people remember it to be. I think at the time, because it was the first one, it sits in people's memories, but it's by no means the best one, I think. What's your favorite of the series? Is it part 3?
At this point, I would say New Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning to that.
I mean, really, if I'm being honest, but if I had to pick from like the original 5, then yeah, I think part 3. But I really want to get a fresh view on 5 and 6. Or on 5 and 6.
Yeah, not a bad idea. You really should, because they're fun. All of these are fun, and these are, in a weird sense, I see these released in August, and you think, why wouldn't these have been October releases? And yeah, it might have been a crowded year on the schedule, but these to me always represented sleepover movies. Buddies would get together when we were kids, and these would be on HBO late night, or we'd rent it from the video store. And They came out in the summertime too.
I like that you specified when we were kids, because I was literally thinking like, damn, grab some beers with your buddies, sleep over.
Come on over, bud. Watch some fucking Freddy. I would right now. You're invited anytime, my friend, to come over and watch some Freddy.
Right now. Anyone wants to invite me over.
But when we were 10, we were doing this as well. And this, I think this was the one where he shoots her up with the street drug. No, that's part 3. That one always fucked me up there, where he needles her in the arms, and her arms have the...
Yeah, I always just felt 3 had weightier kills to it than like this. This was more, like I say, it was more... it was just lighter.
Although there have been times in my life when I've been working out and this movie has flashed in my head where the girl's arms crack. I'm dead serious. I've thought about that multiple times in my life.
Yeah.
That stuck with me, that image to this day. But I'm really glad that we did go back and look at this, because this is a nostalgia piece for me in a lot of ways here. I think Freddy is like the Crypt Keeper, right? It's an iconic thing from my childhood, more so than even Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, and I love those franchises too, although Freddy is my favorite. This is my favorite horror franchise. Do you prefer the other guys over this franchise? If you had to put those
this is my favorite.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I mean, by far, this has always been... Freddy's just a better... I think he would run circles around the others. But I don't... the only thing I'd say is that they haven't remade him successfully, right?
No. I think it's undoable.
And it might be. I mean, the Jason stuff's a little undoable too. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has been a little undoable, even though they've done it. They got lucky with Halloween, I think, this last round. And I think they got away with it when Rob Zombie did it, because I don't think it made... Nobody cared one way or another. It's fine. Those are actually not bad, but there's no moving like Scream. You look at Scream, okay? Well, that's brought back. Not only is it brought back, it's still going. Like, that's a franchise again.
Final Destination.
None of these. It doesn't. Final Destination is it really?
It's coming back, man, big time.
I don't know if I count. I know, but I think it still needs. It's still chugging up at the hill. I feel like that one is. Like, Scream's done. Scream's on the other side of the hill. Scream's going to coast down at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It hit its peak again.
Like, to some degree, that was like when Halloween 2 came out, the last one, right? Before the third one blew it all up. But when Halloween 2 came out, you're like, oh, we're at the top of the hill here.
You're talking about this last trilogy that came out.
Yeah, the last trilogy. You felt like, oh, okay, we can do this, right? This is back. Like, maybe there might even be 4 or 5, right? But then 3, of course, killed that.
Yeah.
But Scream's like coasting at this point. I feel like everything else is either like just is incapable of even climbing the hill, or is kind of just being pushed up there. Like, so I don't know. Is it possible to bring back a horror franchise like this? I think Chucky's been successful TV wise, maybe.
I think this is too 80s. I think it's this of all franchises. This one is very synonymous with this era and with this culture. I don't know if it's because Freddy has some pop culture references. Terrifier is basically the same thing, because Terrifier is constantly winking at the audience. That's why those movies bug me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So Terrifier can do it.
But Terrifier
in some way,
is way more vicious than these movies are. And what he does is way more sadistic than what Freddy's doing.
But I think that's just modernizing it, right? I mean, these are pretty awful things that Freddy's showing people.
But Freddy actually has what's Art the Clown's motivation for doing it?
We don't know.
Right, but Freddy's we do right from the jump, and it's really he is a pedo, which is terrible. But the parents did act in a vigilante form, so that they're reaping, what they sowed in a lot of ways, because they burned him fucking alive.
Mm-hmm.
When I think it was like a clerical error that let him go or something like that. He gets off on some sort of technicality. It was with the backstory that the mom told her in the first one.
And then they kill him.
And they kill him.
And they burn him.
Right. So
burn him alive.
Which is awful. And then you find out in part 6 that I think his family was also burned alive with him. When she has that flashback.
I still never watched the remake of this, so I probably should watch that before.
It's nicely... Look, I'll say this. That movie is glossy. Everything about it is perfectly fine, except for it's a remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with that movie. It's just because it can't.
You'd have to do something more. You'd have to go to the next level, right?
It looks beautiful.
I don't know. That's what I felt like. Those Halloween movies did that. They went to the next level, right? They really told a brilliant story. And even the third one's brilliantly written. It's just not,
it's not
the movie anyone wanted.
I thought the second one in that series was the peak. I loved that one with Anthony Michael Hall.
I think the first one's the best one. But yeah, the second one's great. They're all really good.
They're both superior. The third one sucks.
So I just don't know if you could. I feel like you could do that with Freddy. I just don't know how. He would be more complicated, And you can do the kills like he does because, like I say, Terrifier exists. People will go and see this. It just can't be this. It just can't be as cartoony as this is.
Well, also the Robert Englund is actually the face of this person, this character.
That's the other problem, right?
So it's not like you can hide behind the mask or have anybody supplant him. It's very, very specific, and he's such a good performer. That's what
kills this, huh?
He's such a good performer that I think it's indelible. Like you need him to do this. It's like Schwarzenegger with the Terminator. It's not going to work without the guy.
Everybody else does hide behind a mask. Ghostface is new every single time.
Right. He's a pop-up. It's basically the Masked Singer at that point.
And everybody else can be played by different people. Already successfully played. Like there's been Jason's, there's been Michael Myers. So you can do that and it works. I guess that's what killed the last attempt on this, is that the other guy wasn't very good.
Well, it was Jackie Earle Haley, Watchmen fame and Bad News Bears fame.
Yeah, but
he's very good in it. It's just when you watch it, you go, this isn't, something doesn't feel right. It feels like we're in a multiverse, like an alternate timeline. It's kind of bizarre. Yeah. It's the only way I can describe it. It's fucking bizarre. But watch it. I think it's actually a decent little movie. It's just not what I was expecting, and I think that went for everybody, which is why they didn't continue on with it. It just didn't. Something was missing. Some part of the juice was missing, even though it was professionally made all around, beautifully produced.
Well, that's been a problem with movies in general. So I don't know how you can tell these stories or get anything going if what, I don't know. This was just a studio movie. Why can't you make a studio
I know, right? Because
of this, right? It just feels like so weird to me that you could do this then. And they've done it with Marvel before. Okay, Marvel's in shambles right now. Okay, fine. But that's for, I guess, a lot of reasons, but not necessarily like they can't get out of it or that studios can't make movies anymore. They still know how to make movies. It's just weird to me that this, in particular, this feels like you can't redo this.
Well, I think that this at the time was very unpretentious. They knew what they were making. They knew what audience they were making it for, and they put it out and they made money back on their investment. Nowadays, I feel most of the horror that's out there is pretty intellectualized. It has to either be some sort of esoteric art house A24 thing, or some sort of commercially driven but also fairly esoteric weapons type situation. The Screams and the Final Destinations are just hanger-oners from past generation, but I just don't think that there's anybody out there that wants to make. I just another install. I don't know. I don't see anything like this out there that's fun. Everything feels so heavy.
I mean, is Ronnie Wu going to come back?
I would love for Ronnie Wu to come back.
Yeah. I mean, what about what's his name?
Who? I mean, there was many guys out there that were doing this kind of stuff before that were good at it.
No, the current guy, Wang.
I mean, isn't he involved with the Mummy, the current Mummy that's out there? Not the Brendan Fraser one, but the Lee Cronin's one.
Yeah, but can't he? Or is this just not in the the world of whatever he's doing? He's just not running across this. I mean, aren't there? Well, my point is, aren't there capable studio people that's not A24 stuff? That's just regular studio stuff. Don't they? Doesn't that still exist?
You'd think, but
I'd like to see some just normal movies again.
You and me both, my man. But let's also not forget.
I'm just saying, some action, some horror. Give me something.
Englund also was in the Freddy's Nightmare spinoff. Let's not forget about the TV show.
That's right, the TV show.
So there was, for a long time, that on, first it was Channel 12, which is a cable affiliate of 44. in the Bay Area back in the day, which they put those fuckers on at like midnight on Saturday night. It was hard. You had to look at the TV guide back then and try to find out when Freddy's Nightmares was coming on, and it was always on an obscure channel really late at night on a weekend night, and I saw maybe a handful of them over the years. I think they're available on YouTube now or even on Tubi. Have you watched these at all? Did you ever go back and look at these?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want them?
Yeah, I like these.
Do you have the set or anything?
I don't think I have this. I have the Friday the 13th set.
That's right. They did a Friday the 13th series too.
I can't turn my head enough to look. I don't
was
think I have
the
this
Friday
set.
the 13th series an anthology series like this, like just random?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was very big. Then they were all trying to rip off the Tales from the Crypt popularity.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. That was the idea.
I think that's a lot easier to do that than do like a scripted thing. I mean, God, could you imagine trying to make this? Which maybe that's what they should do. You could do like a Stranger Things, Nightmare on Elm Street, guys. Netflix.
Yep.
I mean, you really could do a whole series on.
Well,
on
didn't
this.
USA just do Chucky? I mean, there you go.
That's what I'm saying. And Chucky was very popular. That one, is that still going on or did it get canceled?
I think they just went off the air with talks of it coming back somewhere.
Quit or something. Yeah, but that one was well received. I mean, maybe that's where normal horror would have to go at this point.
All right. Well, here's a real deep cut. Do you remember Nightmare Cafe? Huh?
I mean, yes.
There you go. Right? Not until I brought it up, but you do remember it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was kind of he owned it, and he was the kind of spooky guy that owned it, and he would tell you these stories.
Yep.
I think that was early 90s-ish, late 80s, early 90s, around the time of...
I don't know if I own that or not. I want to say...
I don't know if they had enough episodes to own.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be surprised.
I think it was a half season, maybe?
I can't remember if that's what I'm trying to think. It didn't even come out on disc or anything.
It was definitely on one of the big channels, and it was like an amazing stories, but more of a horror slant to it. I think that was kind of the idea, was that instead of being mystical, it was more horror.
I'm looking it up.
I'm pretty sure it was called Nightmare Cafe.
See, I don't think it ever came out.
No. Probably not enough episodes.
I think I looked into trying to get it, and I could never find it. I don't think they released it ever.
I bet you it's on YouTube, at least, some of the episodes.
Probably. That's usually where that stuff goes.
For shit like that. Literally the purpose for its existence for me. But I'm glad you do remember that, because I thought I was the only one that could recall that show. And I actually liked Nightmare Cafe. I watched the 6 episodes that came out. I probably watched them all. Or at least the majority of them. Because those were on at prime time, not fucking 12 o'clock at night or 1 in the morning on syndication like the Freddy's Nightmares. And Freddy's Nightmares was on for at least a season, right? 2 seasons, it says here. 44 episodes, looking it up. Wow. 44 episodes. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Freddy's Nightmares was released on VHS in Japan. I know that. Because I ran across some of those, but I don't have any. But
no, let's see if it has more episodes than the Friday the 13th series. That's what I'm curious
I don't
about.
think that it does.
Okay, let's see.
I could be wrong.
TV series. You think that the Freddy ran longer?
I want to say, but I don't.
Okay, no, you're wrong. Friday the 13th ran from 1987 to 1990, a full year longer. It has 72 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
No, Friday the 13th, you thought ran longer? I thought Friday's Dead ran longer. Oh, shit. Okay, I misunderstood you.
Well, I have the DVDs of that one. That's why I thought it was more.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a big enough set where I was like, that's got to be longer.
Wow. So it says that the original title was The 13th Hour. Producer Frank Mancuso instead took the name Friday the 13th to deliberately draw an audience despite no connections.
It has nothing to do with it.
That's great. I mean, these were very popular in that era. Remember The Hitchhiker? That with The Hitcher was a show.
Yeah.
A lot of these kind of things would use a franchise, quote unquote, franchise name for a syndicated show. Very, very popular. Yeah, I'm going to have to look up Nightmare Cafe or even Freddy's Nightmares and try. Oh, it is on Tubi. Yep. I'm going to watch this. I haven't seen this since the 80s.
Cafe?
No, well, at the Cafe, I don't know if it's on
Freddy's Nightmares.
Freddy's Nightmares. Definitely going to give a watch, too. I was on a roll where I watched the whole first season of Tales from the Crypt about 2 years ago now, and those are just fantastic. And I'm amazed that you cannot find those on HBO Max. Those should be highly available. That and Dream On. I don't know why they hide the early HBO series on.
Yeah, I was going to say Freddy's Nightmare was also never released.
Bizarre.
On disc. I know because I try to look at those ones. I mean, there's got to be a reason I have Friday the 13th and not these, But yeah, never. There are like fake releases of them. I think there was a real release that got pulled. I don't really remember, but yeah, it's on Tubi though. So many things have gone streaming that would have had whatever rights issues on disc, and it's weird.
Well, it could be music issue clearances and things like that. Like that's a lot of things that hold things back.
Yeah, but they would have to have had some rights reworked to release on streaming.
Well, I guess you're right there, too.
Or I guess music changed or whatever. So if you're going to do all that, why can't you release it on disc? It's weird.
Do you think because maybe the contracts at the time said home media but didn't specify streaming or digital?
Is there some kind of a loophole?
Yeah. Honestly, because it took years for Miami Vice to be released on DVD because of that stupid rights clearance. And even the Baywatch remastered shit that's out there now uses all AI-created music, and it's not even the real music because of that very thing.
As I understand it, when you look at what people have talked about... I can't remember who now, but someone's saying that you would license a song some famous old rock song or something. You would license it to be like $1,000 in like 2014 or something, right? But like today, if you go to license that same song, it would be like $100,000. Like that's the difference in like that's why they're having these problems with the music and stuff. And I don't think it's because the artists are doing it,
Well, because the industry's just fucking strangled for a lot of its income. I mean, so they're trying to find it where they can. And I always thought it's ridiculous when they flag things like on YouTube and whatnot, because that's basically free promotion of your shit. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna have to watch these because I'm looking at this video list here. So the Nightmare came out on Warner Home Video. Even each tape had one episode. Wow. And then they had UK editions as well, Germany editions, and your Japanese editions. So you got some catching up to do here. You got other continents to collect from.
That's okay.
Wow.
I don't think I need those.
The El Rey Network was broadcasting them 10 years ago. That's kind of fun. That's Robert Rodriguez's channel there. Huh. Well, I guess that'll wrap up our episode here on Dream Master Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Had a hell of a time going back and looking at this very nostalgic movie for myself. I know you didn't enjoy it quite as much here, but I think that we both agree that we should probably take a look at Part 5 now, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely watching 5 next.
I think so, too. So thank you guys for joining us on this look back, and be looking out for Part 5 retrospective in the future. Speaking for Trevor Anderson, I'm Jason Rugard, and we are the Movie Mavericks.
Oh my, another magnificent episode has come to an end. If you're craving more, set your destination to moviemavericks.com, Warp 9. Engage!